Hey friends, it's Renee Bradshaw. I'm here to do a spirit guide reading, 10 card reading for a Leo who is born and raised in Salem, Massachusetts. She feels like she's gotten a little out of touch lately, so we're kind of just hoping that we'll see some information from her guides about how she can get back on track or how she can make a connection again. I went ahead and shuffled the cards before I turn on the camera just so I didn't have to fast forward through all that shuffling again. So this first card is the representation of your guide, and we have the Page of Pentacles, and what is obviously what's drawing me in right away is this map. Like, I'm here, I'm a direct, straightforward kind of guy. I'm going to be helping you see what's ahead of you and see where you want to move and where you want to go on this path. So the Pentacles, is all about abundance. That coin flipping in the air right there, that's really telling me you have abundance waiting for you up ahead. There's spiritually, we're going to do this. I know you said you were feeling a little out of touch spiritually, and so we're going to be doing this reading. Oh no, you didn't say you felt out of touch spiritually. You felt out of touch with your guides lately. So we're going to be doing a lot of this reading about your guides and their connection with your spiritual path. So I really feel like this is definitely number one right away, looking at a path, no matter that coin in the air, no matter which way you choose to go, that the point is to go. And that is what your guide is helping you, or not helping you, but that's kind of like your guide's personality. It's just that get up and go, let's move, let's focus on what's ahead and keep moving. Okay, except for the second card here is how your guide is currently helping you, and focusing on what's ahead is probably not the place where you want to have your focus. Instead, you want to have your focus on what's behind. So there's possibly a reason that you kind of fell out of touch for a while, and a lot of that had your focus. It had kind of like, it drew you away from your path, from your spirituality a little bit. I don't feel like you completely turned your back or anything like that. I just feel like I don't feel like a door closed. So I don't feel like this is like a big serious thing. It was just like a momentarily like, I'm gonna sit here and kind of deal with this stuff. And that always happens, and to all of us that happens, just having to deal with other emotions, other problems. Things come up, family members get sick, and jobs change, and houses flood. We got all these things that happen, and so of course we can get drawn onto something else for a while. But what's collecting my attention in this card is this beautiful table spread with food and drink and these balloons, and everything's so exciting. So I really feel like what your guide is helping you to do is, like, you're kind of nearing the end of this, focusing on these spilled cups, focusing on what you don't have, or focusing on what got ruined. And your guide has been building up like this smorgasbord behind you, something that you can turn around and grasp and have. So I think what your guide's been doing is just building behind the scene right now, waiting for you to turn around, take the path, move, take steps ahead, and really have everything that is waiting for you. And so I think right now it's just the building. Now, how you can help your guide as they're helping you. Well, this is nice. Okay, so the World. I like this card. I always love this card. I love it right now so much because we're on the beach. So your guide is helping you by growing this amazing banquet on this beach, a sunny location somewhere. And then here you are. How can you help yourself? It's just by like realizing, what you have, realizing the things that are waiting for you. I think that's totally what this is here. And this is since this is such a powerful card, the World, it's the end of a cycle, it's the end of the major arcana, the Fool's Journey story. It goes from 0 all the way up to 21, and then you can start over again or go into the suits. So I feel like This is telling you that you need to accept the end of this disconnection. That's the word I want to say. Sorry, disconnection, unconnection, no connection, broken connection, whatever that the connection that was severed. It's time for you to grasp it again and know that it's time for you to move forward, and that you have all these gifts that not only you have, that you have built up over the years, but also I feel like, this abundance, the abundance that's waiting on your path if you decide to take it up again and choose and go forward. So like that. Sorry, I get really excited sometimes when I'm doing spirit guide readings. It's just like, whoa. I gotta take a deep breath every once in a while. Okay, so this abundance is waiting for you on the path. That's what your spirit guide, that's like her personality, still feeling a female. That's her personality, just building, taking you to this abundance. She has been building this abundance behind you, and how you can help her is by accepting this abundance, stepping back into the spiritual connection that you used to have. And we'll get into like how and everything here in a minute, but right now just really, she's making everything for you and you just have to accept it. It's like manifesting an abundance and just knowing that you're worth it. You just need to take it. There's like, okay, never mind. I was looking on this picnic basket. There's just I just noticed for the first time there's like this fabric poking out the sides of it, but I'm looking up close. It's just like a blue checkerboard fabric. It's not, I just want to see. I'm like, every once in a while you're looking at cards and it's like, oh, there's something new. Well, it happens to me anyways. So the next card is going to be, how can you recognize when they're talking to you? So, sorry, got excited. So we have the King of Pentacles, which again, is all about just like this abundance. I was talking to someone about this card the other day in connection to Christmas, and I don't know if you've seen that old Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol cartoon, but when I see him, that is what I think of is the ghost of Christmas past, who actually ends up being a Willie the Giant. So can you tell I have a toddler? But so I feel like when we're looking at this, it's just like, even though he is an older gentleman, you can tell it's like that abundance and joy and relaxation that he has on his face. It's like a totally different relaxation than I ever see on the females' faces in this deck. And so even though he's like the oldest of his suit and he's like the young one from his suit, whenever I see him, I think of that childlike joy and fulfillment. So again, this card is one we're going to read a little extra on here, but this, how can you tell when your guide is talking to you? You're just going to start receiving gifts. You'll order something at a restaurant and you'll get a double serving, or somehow you'll get like a free dessert. It's like these little gifts that are coming. This is all that build up. I feel like your guide has been there. They've been building up this whole connection, a world of gifts for you, and without you accepting them, it's not like it's been going away. It just hasn't been coming to you right lately. So when it does, it's just going to kind of spill over, and you're going to feel like really like you've had everything all along. So I feel like you're going to get like extra, like I said, like maybe extra fries or something for free, but silly things like that. But I also feel like if you go to meditate, or if you're into doing divination, if you're connecting. Deep breath again. If you're doing like a spell, I think for a moment, it's kind of going to be like you have to step back into it, connect again, just because it's been a little while since you have been feeling this disconnect. But I feel like once you make that connection, like the gifts are just going to flow. There's just going to be so much of them. You're going to be surprised. It's going to be like this buildup of this time of discontent is going to flow back with content, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like a crazy person right now. these words, not because I'm talking to your spirit guide, because that's just what I do. But I mean, gee, is this why you felt disconnected for a while? Is your spirit guide kind of, I thought he was like this rational person. I felt like she was just like calm and collected. She's like on the path, but I don't think it's like this total calm nature to her. I think she is ready to go, like move down this path. Like she's like, this is the way, let's get all of our gifts. So I feel like that's why my voice is getting kind of hyper. I'm more hyper than normal, is because she's just got like all these gifts she's so excited to present to you. So I do want to touch down on this when you can tell your guide is talking to you just a little bit more. Let me see, what do I want to do? I want to draw another tarot card, but I don't want to pull. Okay, so I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because they're all sorted. Or they, not sorted, but they've been shuffled, so they're exactly how they should be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I didn't want to mess with that, but I do want to get into this. I know we're definitely have an abundance theme, definitely have like all these gifts coming theme, but I'm super interested in this. It can't just be, well, I know, shush, Val, Renee, you're not in charge of this. It's the spirit guide, but I feel like, what is the message? The, just this, how when they're talking to you, I just feel it's definitely this connection to abundance, but where is it? Can you give me just a little bit more guidance, please? My Leo from Salem's spirit guide, just give me a little more guidance. I think I've got this top card here. And this, okay, so we've got the 9 of Wands, and this is, okay, so this is kind of interesting, talking about how we know your spirit guide is talking to you. The 9 of Wands, they've just been through a battle, and then they're presented with another. So I really feel I'm getting this vibe here right now. So you've gone through something, we're talking about anything. I mean, like a hectic drive home and workout, rush hour traffic, and you all of a sudden get this clear, empty lane. That's your guide talking to you. That's your guide giving you space. That's a present from them for you. It could be an unexpected bill pops up, and then unexpected funding comes in. That funding is your guide. I really feel like that is just their gift to you. They really want to go to the extreme to really let you know. And that's what I was kind of asking. Like, you can't just say, oh, every time I get something, that's my guide. I mean, it could, and it might be, but I really feel like getting this additional bit of information was awesome. It's like when you feel backed into a corner, and then it's like, what do they call it? Dew in the machine, da in the machine. I can't speak French, but it's basically like God in the machine, right? Where all of a sudden the writer of the, of the great fates of life just drops a gift in your lap when you feel like you're at your end. That is your guide talking to you. They're just so about abundance. They really want it to be a shocking moment, I feel like, a lot of the time when they give you a gift. Okay, so now we're gonna continue on to what should you work on during this lifetime. And we have the Queen of Wands, which this is interesting. I've had so I haven't really seen her a lot when I do readings, and I've seen her at another spirit guide reading today. So I feel like this is probably like a really important theme maybe to this time of year, and that's why it's been coming up. I mean, even her dress is like really about this winter season, like holly berries and traditional Christmas colors and stuff. But it's funny because I was talking about him and his sense of being that Christmassy Ghost of Christmas Past and childlike happiness. So the Queen of Wands is all about just so this is your lesson in this life, and I really feel like here is the calm, stable, relaxing queen, and we can see she, like, we got a cat that's getting a flower, we have a hummingbird that's eating a flower. So I really feel like this is all about just appreciating all those gifts as they come to us, and definitely sharing the gifts. And that's why I feel like this comes up at Christmas time when I'm doing readings. This card seems to appear, is because it's just all about, you know, sharing and giving. And so I really feel like that's part of your lesson, and not your lesson, but what you need to work on during this lifetime. And because she came out upright, I feel like this is something that you're definitely doing in your life right now. I don't know if you give back, like as a volunteer, or if you're a parent, you do extra work at your employment, but I just feel like this is something that you're definitely on the right track. So that when we say work on during this lifetime, it's not something you've been failing at this lifetime, but it might have been something you struggled with in a past lifetime. Depending on the nature of the card when it comes out and everything around it is really where I can tell if it's something that you're on the right track for, or if it's something like your guides are like, hey, you really need to like stop not doing this. You need to stop taking all the candy from the babies that go by you. So I really feel like this is definitely saying you're on some kind of right path with however you're giving back. If it's charity, volunteering, parenting. Parenting is very much almost a volunteer job within itself, and was so demanding. And so I really feel that is just working this lifetime is just giving. I really do. Okay, I do want to go ahead and I like to sometimes, when I kind of feel something coming on, like, you know, like I really feel like that, just that message is just giving. But I mean, if I just kind of want to pull I love these cards. I've been loving these for spirit guide readings. Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. So I'm gonna pull another card on working in this lifetime and see what we have. See if your guide can help my hands. Just help me get the right card out here. Whatever is going to serve you in your work in this lifetime. Something that can connect your work in this lifetime. Your giving back, and however that might be. You know, maybe it's something with divination. You know, maybe your giving back is to simply teach. And you know, maybe you're a painter and you want to teach to center downtown, you know. Oh, all right, we found you. Yeah. So I like to look at the top. Whoa. No. Okay. Sorry, I just hadn't seen that card before. Anyways, 2 shut out. This was the one that would have been on top. So this is the one I pulled out. So an undying love. Isolde. The love you've shared is eternal. Is eternal regardless of the situation. So let me look that up real quick, and then I'll hold the card up for you to see. Undying love. When it comes to matters of the heart, your help is here. It's all around you and also inside of you. Your inner wisdom may seem quieted by any pain that you feel, yet be assured that the healing you're undergoing is swift and efficient and you are truly healing from the inside out. First, your heart must heal from its grief and loneliness and any feelings of betrayal. This can take some time, so be patient with yourself. Treat yourself as if you would any ailing person, with caution, gentleness, and tenderness. Next, get yourself out into the world, not in a harsh fashion, but with the outings to the parks, forests, and such, which are essentially lightning to your outlook. Nature is the great healer, you see. That's why I am frequently amidst flowers and trees. Although they may seem quiet on the outside, they're quite talkative when you breathe and simply ingest their magical tones of conversation. Spend time among the forests and the trees as well as plants and animals, and you'll regain your foothold upon this planet. You'll receive your sense of the spirit and your desire to tread among the living once again. I promise that your heart will mend, and you'll also help others in this fashion along the way. So, I know we didn't talk a lot before I did this reading, and I've never done a reading for you before. So I really just have that you've had a disconnect. But as I was reading this, I really was drawn to two. This is just a beautiful message altogether, but I was very drawn to two different sentences. You'll revive your sense of spirit and your desire to tread amongst the living once again. Now, I don't know if you've necessarily been depressed, but you have been disconnected. There has been something that I saw in this earlier, the Five of Cups, something about you feeling you've been disconnected. And I mean, it really could have been anything, a busy November. It doesn't have to be something major and earth-shattering happened, but I really feel like that spiritual connection is something, that connection with the universe. I feel like that's something that is a big part of you, a big part of your heart, and I feel like the heart chakra there, or I guess that's more of the throat. No, is it the heart? Who knows, Valor? So, Isolt, not valid. So that was one thing that stuck out. And that you'll also help others in this fashion along the way. And that really helped, to me, that really connected back here with this, to me. And the red at her neck and the red dress, the two of them just really, connected to me as I'm seeing them, just really connecting with that giving back, helping others. And like I said, with this, it was just about healing. It's about a connection with the spirit and helping others with that connection. So it doesn't have to be something where you're volunteering 40 hours of your week every week, or 20 hours or 10 hours or anything like that. It could just be actual helping people, by telling them the knowledge that you have when it comes to the spiritual world, what you think, connection to witchcraft. With you growing up in Salem, I know you said you had some, you really like everything witchy, and I'll bet you probably have a few witchy tendencies yourself, and I feel like that's a gift too that you could share with others. But so that card really, to me, just seemed to resonate, pull that all together, loving and then sharing that love. Your gifts we're going to go into next. Ooh, so that's exactly what you want to hear me say. Ooh, sorry about that. So this card, we have the Eight of Swords. To me, this immediately drew back to the helping others. Traditionally we have this woman who's trapped, bound down, can't find a way out. She's got people helping her. There's some hope. She's holding these ties together. So what I'm really drawn to right now is the cat. When we talk about you coming out of whatever this disconnect was recently, and we talk about you sharing that with other people, sharing your story to help them, I really feel like that's your gift when I'm looking at this, is you're not the witch, you are the kitty in this card, helping others that have gone through their own disconnect, gone through their own problem, gone through maybe something that you've gone through. I don't know if counseling is something you're into, and not even have to be on like a professional level, but just life counseling. Well, no, that is very professional. I shouldn't say life counseling, but I guess friend counseling. You know how you have those friends that you can just you can go to? They have an open ear. They always have a shoulder to lean on, and they always have some sage advice. A lot of times this is someone who's older than you. Um, so I really feel like that's you in this situation. Um, and if it is, I feel like it's someone that's younger than you, either life wise or emotionally wise, even going down a spiritual path. I feel like this is someone that you could help multiple people by just making yourself available for counseling. Um, Again, if you're into divination, I mean, this is something that maybe you could offer to others. Is for doing divination for them. But I really feel like you are the cat here. Your gift is again going back to helping people emotionally and spiritually. Um, and I feel like you'll be able to help people kind of open up their eyes and feel like find their true path and connection. I'm really getting that as something for you. It's just um, is really helping others. And I feel like that's probably some of the gifts that your guide has given you. It's just some of that strength and spiritual abundance that you can share with others. Share your knowledge. This card is, what is your connection with your spirit guide when you're in the spirit world? So this is interesting to see the Hanged Man here. I really feel like when I'm looking at this, because if they're hanging, they're upside down. If we flip the world upside down, the right side up. So I really feel like on the spiritual plane, I feel this evenness. Like perhaps you were even the spirit guide for your spirit guide in a previous life. But I really feel like you guys get a lot from each other. That you're at a really even playing ground. And I feel like some of that is like they have this determination to go a certain path, to move along a certain way, and they've kind of taught you about that, and teaching you about that has opened your eyes. Not that girl's eyes, not yet. You can help her open her eyes, but it's a lot of it has opened your eyes. And since we're talking about her, basically tying herself down, and then here is like this key to unlock everything. So I just really feel like it's just this even playing ground between the two of you guys. It's not like an emotional connection, but I really knew that from like picking up this first card. It wasn't, I mean, I got a little hyper for a little bit, so I felt like there is excitement, but it's not like a sappy emotional feeling that we would get with some cards, like like maybe the Empress, the Motherly card, or Cups cards. With all that emotion, I really feel like this is just you guys are friends, you're on an even field, you're not extremely close friends, but that's okay, because this isn't the guide. Like, we have many guides, and I really feel like this is the guide in your life that's here today. They're the one that points you in directions, and like that direction right now is to wake back up, open back up, so we can get back to what you do best, and so we can get back to moving forward spiritually. And right now, maybe they feel like you are a little stuck, a little hung upside down a tree, like you're not moving forward. But I don't feel like there's anger or frustration between you guys. I really feel like it's still just that good connection it's supposed to be. But yeah, it is very even, and it is very stagnant. But then I'm also tapping that this is like not a an emotional guide, but just this is our path, this is our destiny, man, do it. This card will tell us what we need to be aware of right now. So we have the Two of Cups. I really feel like this is your guide telling you that maybe there's a relationship, a friendship, a family member, there's some kind of relationship connection that has been maybe holding you down, holding you back. It's kind of been messing with your head a little bit. Um, maybe it was a friend and you guys had a falling out, and that messed with your head. It kind of kept you apart from this. It kind of kept you from being a two and becoming more of a one, someone who, maybe you became more drawn back from disconnection. But I feel like your guide is wanting you to know that, kind of, we can, you guys can move past this. This is like a bump in the road, whatever this is. I don't know if this is something you are just getting into or getting over, but it's very current. So it's like coming up real close, or it's just kind of fizzling over. But it's definitely something that you need to be aware of. Is there something toxic kind of in this relationship, or this? Whenever I say relationship, it does not automatically mean romantic relationship. When I just use relationship for friendships, family members, co-workers, etc. So there's something, and I feel like this is something that you probably are already sensing. You're probably already connecting them a little bit with why you've been feeling disconnected. It's just kind of, this person is holding you back. It might be that oh gosh, is it like something they make fun of you, or is it just, no, not making fun of you, that's the wrong phrase, I'm not feeling that. It's just something negative that they said to you that I feel like scratched out, like, a little part of you, but this little part can be filled again easily. But it's been a problem for you, for your connection, and maybe it's like an emotional vampire kind of sucking that energy and happiness out of you. But there's definitely something here where it's where a lot of this is connected to a poor relationship, or someone who is overabundant, I would say, at taking gifts from the relationship. Oh, that's coming to me now. These gifts that have been given to you, I feel like a lot of them are being filtered out to this other person or this connection, and it's like a negative outlet, and that's why you've been having some disconnect problems. It's interesting. Again, I see, kind of seeing these two beach cards right by each other. The world, helping yourself, and then something you gotta be aware of is this poor relationship. It's like, help yourself by severing this relationship, or at least if you can't sever it or don't want to sever it, cut your pull your emotions back from it, or kind of talk to them and figure out a way to kind of make it being less about them and more about both of you. And again, this could be any kind of relationship. Any advice for your spiritual path? Don't be the one to carry everything is what I see when I see this Ten of Wands here. Like, we've got this witch and she's totally struggling. She's carrying everyone's broomsticks. Like, the first 9 witches and her own, all like, they were all like, here's our broomsticks, carry that. So I really feel like that's going back to this relationship here. Like, it's something that you're definitely carrying the brunt of, or giving out more than you can emotionally or spiritually, energy wise. And I feel like that's definitely a connection right there. I'd be curious to see what you say, but well, I'm always curious to see what you say. And totally, if you're looking at these and you're like, whoa, no, that's not that. That looks exactly like so-and-so, or I have, shoes like that, so that means this, totally go for that meaning, but trust your intuition. But the way I'm seeing this is just this poor connection, this crappy thing that's like draining your energy, is draining you because you're the one carrying a brunt of this load. And I feel like if you want to sever that relationship, or if you just want to have an open and honest conversation, and figure out a way that you don't have to carry that load, you don't have to supply like the brunt of the emotions. You don't have to be ready at a moment's drop. You don't have to, you know, take care of every little thing that they ask you for. Um, you know, it's okay to sleep and still be someone's friend, and take care of yourself too. So I really feel like that's just, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself and not just other people. And then this is the reversed Hierophant. And this is like going against tradition, going against rules, going against things that have kind of been ingrained in your head as to how things should be and how things should work. There's a reason why those particular things are not feeling correct to you anymore, and that's because we're all individuals with you know, these beautiful individual spirits and souls, and connection to the spirit world, and everything else. And so your guide just wants you to know, you have to listen to yourself. You have to stop second guessing yourself. And if there's something you've done for 10 years, you know, every day, and you still do it because it's habit, but you hate it, stop doing it. Get help to stop doing it. You know, and this could be, again, this could be this this connection. If it's like a phone call, you take at 2 a.m. every like Tuesday night because your best friend from college is drunk at the bar and wants to talk to you about something ridiculous, you know, and it's really breaking you down. You know, cut that tie. Also spiritually, if this is, you know, if there's a practice or a belief you've had for many years and it was all part of like a tradition you followed, or it was just something that used to serve you, and now you're trying to force yourself into that and it's not working, let go of it. We're just, I can't say enough how much we're all just individuals, and you have to just be yourself. And a lot of that comes from your guide, and I feel like the connection there between this Page of Pentacles, who's like on this direct path, and then this card telling you to, if something doesn't work, don't do it, is this coin he's got right away at the beginning. We saw when he was flipping it in the air, and he says, you know, just pick a path. It doesn't matter which way you go, just move forward. And I really feel like that connects to this card right here when we talk about it doesn't really matter, you know, if it works for other people. If it's not working for you, cut it out. If it's something you want to try, pick it up and try it. But you're not gonna get anywhere unless you start moving. So and your gift, I think, is definitely, once you're through all that, is to help others find that same connection. But that was I really enjoyed that reading. I hope some of it resonated with you. Please feel free to send me an email. Let me know what you think after you've watched it. But I really enjoyed that. I really felt like this hyper dude, like, come on, let's get down the path, let's move. So, and then he just wants you to turn around, I guess, and see all the joy and gifts that are coming your way, and you know, and let go of what is not serving you anymore. But again, this has been Renee Bradshaw, and thank you very much. Have a blessed day.